Laser sights will make you a more accurate and confident shooter by providing visual feedback on sight alignment and trigger control. Crimson Trace, making laser sight standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
This is Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, now available on iTunes and other podcast clients, and on the free GunDealio smartphone app for iPhone and Android. Feel free to call Tom now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN or 866-825-5486, or email Tom at guntalk.com. Now, once again, here's Tom.
Hey, I'm so glad that you are with us. We're going to be talking about guns for an hour or two or three or however long I'm awake today. That's how long I talk about guns. I'm Tom Gresham, by the way. The show is called Gun Talk, and we gather just to talk about guns and shooting and the shooting sports and safe gun handling and responsible gun ownership. And, yeah, we'll talk about self-defense. And, of course, you really can't talk about guns without getting into the gun control debate and Second Amendment. In 22 years ago, when we started this radio show, there were not as many outlets available as there are today in terms of getting your message out. Now, holy cow, you could say that's all but unlimited in terms of the outlets, the online outlets. And how many times have you been on a bulletin board, a group, someplace online, social media, Facebook, your friend, somebody says, oh, yeah? Well, where'd you get that? Oh, yeah? But don't you know that in civilized countries, America far outstrips everybody else in gun crime, in gun deaths? And you're going, well, no, that's not true. They go, oh, yeah, really, where'd you get that? Well, how about if you could go to one place and get that and make it easily understandable and support it and have facts behind you and have the facts, the information sourced? Well, that's exactly what Guy Smith has been doing for some number of years. Guy joins us right now, Gun Facts. Hey, Guy, how are you?
Tom, it's always a good day when I'm with you, buddy.
I appreciate you being here. How long have you been putting out Gun Facts now?
When was dirt invented? I'm not clear. It was a long time ago. The real answer is about 16 years, and every year I wake up and I go, well, maybe it's time to call this a show, and then a lot of people tell me, no, if you quit doing this, we'll personally come to your house and harass you. So I think I got another 16 years ahead of me.
Well, I will lead the march with pitchforks and torches. You are not allowed to stop doing this, because let me tell you, you are doing an invaluable service, and for people, I try to explain to them, take an issue, and I'm looking at your website now. For those who would like to follow along, go online to gunfacts.info, gunfacts.info. You have information about gun shows, so-called assault weapons, sniper rifles, handguns for women, violence and violent crime, 50 caliber rifles, micro-stamping, all that stuff where I don't know how you do it, but you go into each of these and really drill down and find the information from whom? The FBI, Centers for Disease Control, whomever it is, and put it into two things. One, easily understandable, but maybe more importantly, easily deliverable format. That's what you really do, isn't it?
Well, and that's one thing that I'm focusing on more and more all the time. I'm using more data visualization tools. I'm finding interesting ways of showing things in a way that you receive an immediate impact of. I'll give you my favorite example of the week. I've had this trouble trying to show people very accurately the total disconnect between the availability of guns and the probability that you're going to get hurt. Okay. So I gathered up the international statistics on per capita, how many murders there are, and how many people own guns in every country. And I went in and I said, draw me a tree map. And everyone's seen a tree map. These are those charts where, there's different size squares. The bigger the square, the bigger the problem. And I mapped it out, and it all looked beautiful. The problem was I couldn't find the United States anywhere on there. And I had to trick Microsoft Excel into painting the United States as a green square. And you still could almost not see the United States on this chart.
Why?
So that's what I'm doing for people, is to give them perspective. Come to the website, find that chart, put that up on Facebook and say, if you can see the green square, which is the United States, that is the point.
Well, let me ask you, when you say you can't find the green square, what are you talking about? Is the U.S. ranked so low in terms of gun crime or murders relative to gun ownership?
Exactly. What we did for this analysis was that we took the homicide rate, the number of people per 100,000 who murdered every year, and then divided that by the per capita gun ownership, the number of guns, based against the national population. Now, in a country with a lot of murders and very few guns, that produces a great big box. Mm-hmm. And in a country with almost no murders but a lot of guns, that produces a little tiny box. And that ended up being the United States. We got tons of guns, but compared to other nations, we don't have that many homicides.
Okay, but I keep hearing all the gun control industry keep saying that, well, in civilized countries or first world countries or however they want to qualify it, the U.S. has far more homicides than these others. What's going on there?
Well, that's not entirely true, and here's the interesting twist in propaganda. And by the way, for your audience, if you ever want a quick guide in detecting propaganda in real time, I wrote a book called Shooting the Bull, where we use the gun control industry as the entire case study, and you get a real solid lesson in detecting BS right from the get-go.
That book, by the way, is available on his website, gunfacts.info. All right, go ahead, guy.
And so the gun control industry, what they say is that America has more gun deaths per capita than others, but then we get right into the situation where you have to bring up suicides, which are like 66% of all gun deaths in America. Right. Then they back off and they say, oh, well, you've got more gun homicides in other countries. And I say, yeah, but if you look at total homicides, ignoring, how the murder was done, then we're coming pretty close to the high end of the averages of the other industrialized nations. Okay. Then you go one step further and you say, who's killing who in America? And this is where I've been doing some more research recently. The gang problem that we have in the United States is numerically outstripping the rest of the world, and culturally speaking, our gangs tend to be more homicidal than street gangs in other countries. To give you an idea as to how pervasive this is, London has approximately, actually more than double the population of Chicago, Illinois. But Chicago has 300 times the number of people per capita in street gangs than London. Wow. That is a huge variable that demonstrates why gun homicides in the United States are high. It's all concentrated in big cities, and it's all centered around street gangs.
Wow. And then you put them together, all this information together, each one of these, into an infographic that is, like as you say, you can copy it, you can paste it. If you're making a comment on an article, you're putting something on Facebook, and people are saying, well, what are you talking about? I read blah, blah, blah. And, of course, the gun control lobby is pretty good about putting out this, I wouldn't call it exactly phony, but it is very twisted, misleading, and slanted info. Would that be fair?
That would be an understatement. That would be an understatement of a caliber that I cannot comprehend. In the realm of agitprop, in the realm of just pure political BS, I have never seen any organization as pure and prolific as the gun control industry. They put out more effluvium per unit time than any horse I've ever ridden.
So what you're saying is the gun control industry, the Bradys, the Bloombergs, and all of that, they're basically just cranking out BS.
That's their job, basically. The gun control industry is interesting, whereas the pro-gun faction, you have millions of people who are willing to cough up their $35 a year to be an NRA member, and it's definitely a mass organization and a mass movement. Those are the customers. When you go over to the gun control industry, there's only 4 or 5 customers. There's Michael Bloomberg. There's the Joyce Foundation. There's organizations like that. And they provide all of the financial wealth and drive all of the propaganda that comes out of that side. Fascinating thing to watch.
So there's no grassroots on the other side, you're saying?
There are interested people. There are people who are passionate about their cause. But if you were to suddenly pull out Bloomberg and Joyce Foundation funding and say, okay, all of you people who favor gun control, pony up some money, it would wither. It would die. It would go away within a month.
All right, so the website is called GunFacts. It's gunfacts.info. There are other ways for them to get this information, though. You've made it available different ways, haven't you?
There are, but by all means, go to the website. As time goes on, we discovered that this is becoming a much more powerful and much more direct way of spreading the information. Now, for people who like printed material, we try once a year to take the website and condense it down into a book, which you can get on Amazon. It's just called Gun Facts. But the warning behind that is at any given time, the information in there might be 6 months out of date.
It's dated,
so,
exactly. All right, well, Guy, I just want to give you a huge attaboy. I use Gun Facts like crazy. You make it easy for me to understand, so I know anybody can understand it if I can. It's a huge attaboy. I know it is a labor of love because you can't possibly be making any money out of this, but I am sure glad you're doing it.
Well, and I'm going to keep on doing it, and, that's the bell that I put in everyone's ear. Drop by the Gun Facts website, share the graphics, click on them. You'll get a bigger version of the graphic. Post it on Facebook, and if it was any value to you, jump over to the donation page.
There you go. I am all for it. Guy Smith, thank you so much. Gunfacts.info. When we come back, I want to tell you about a poor couple who got bankrupted by the Brady campaign, the anti-gun activist. Just horrible what they did to this couple. Horrible. It's a story you got to hear. 866-TALK-GUN. August is National Shooting Sports Month, and you can celebrate it many ways. Find an event near you and take your friends. Cash in on the deals and discounts retailers are offering this month. Gun stores and ranges can host events. You can introduce friends and family to shooting. Get involved to help the shooting sports and the Second Amendment. To find an event, a shoot, or how to participate, visit shootingsportsmonth.org.
Face it, sometimes more is better. That's the idea behind the double-stack, full-capacity pistols from Springfield Armory. From the groundbreaking XD to the ergonomic XDM to the latest refinements in the XD Mod 2 series, you can get subcompact, midsize, and full-size pistols in 9, 40, and 45. Carry, target, or tactical models. Fast, accurate, dependable. Don't come up short when it matters. Go full cap. Go Springfield Armory. Springfield-Armory.com.
Since 1937, Ducks Unlimited has led the charge on wetlands and waterfowl conservation. Wetlands reduce the effects of flooding and recharge our drinking water, but perhaps most importantly, they allow us to experience what makes the outdoors so great. Band together to rescue our wetlands.
Used guns can be a great value, but you have to know who you're buying from. What if you could buy quality used guns with a lifetime warranty from the Internet's largest online reseller? That's what you get at DuriesGuns.com. They stand behind every firearm purchase for life. If you have a problem, they'll either fix or replace your gun. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, and more. Check out their inventory today at DuriesGuns.com.
What's important in a gun safe? Security, reliability, safety, good looks? It all comes down to quality. Quality that's built in from the beginning. Liberty Safe has made quality products for 29 years right here in the USA. Trust your guns, your valuables, and your safety to Liberty Safe. Did you ever regret buying quality? I didn't think so. Get the best. Whatever your budget, get a Liberty Safe. LibertySafe.com.
I talked a little bit about this is a disturbing story. Taking advantage of this couple at their weakest point. The Brady campaign, the gun control, the gun ban group. Make no mistake, it's a gun ban group. When they say they want to stop the sale of or stop the ownership of any category of guns, that's a gun ban group. This is a story out of the National Review, written by Jay Caruso. He did an excellent job with it. It says, in 2012, Jessica Gwali, I believe it was murdered by James Holmes during a showing of The Dark Knight. You remember that terrible incident, that attack. In the aftermath, Gwali's mother, Sandy, filed a lawsuit against Lucky Gunner. That's the online business that sold Holmes some of his guns. Last week, Mother Jones, the magazine, ran a story on Phillips, the mother who complained bitterly that her case had been thrown out. All right, here's the deal. Sued Lucky Gunner and because they sold the gun to Holmes. And Phillips, the woman who sued Lucky Gunner, was conned into doing this by the Brady campaign. She says working for the Brady campaign became a flurry of media appearances and meetings with politicians, police, and survivors. The Brady leadership also encouraged Lonnie and me, to sue Lucky Gunner, the dealer that sold the stockpile of ammo to Jesse's killer. We agree that dealers should have to take some responsibility. Shouldn't they have to vet a buyer of military-grade weaponry or a buyer of bullets en masse? It goes on. Here's what happened. This couple lost their daughter. And the Brady campaign decided to prop them up and use them as a showcase and told them, yes, you can sue this gun maker and this gun seller rather, and you'll be doing good. You will be able to do something and make a statement and turn something good out of the senseless, horrible murder of your daughter. I would submit the Brady campaign preyed on this couple. Knowing that the suit would go nowhere, knowing that it was impossible to go anywhere. It was prohibited by law. The Defense of Lawful Commerce and Arms Act. You can't hold a gun maker or a gun seller for selling a legal product that's non-defective, that somebody else misuses. And to the very idea that, well, shouldn't gun dealers have to vet people who... Yeah, it's called an FBI background check. And the FBI okayed the purchase. So yeah, they did that. And the whole idea of military grade, that's just pure gun control propaganda speak. They just propped him up. They told him, here, say these words. Say them over and over again. Go everywhere you can. Well, unfortunately for this couple, the court threw the case out. Well, they had to. The law required it. But even more than that, and here comes the really ugly part, the judge ended up having to order them to pay legal fees to Lucky Gunner. They have to pay the legal fees. The Lucky and why wouldn't they? Lucky Gunner incurred these legal fees. They were sued with a bogus lawsuit, a phony lawsuit, a ginned up lawsuit put together by the Brady campaign, who had to have known it would go nowhere. But the Brady campaign didn't pay for it. This poor couple's paying for it. $200,000. They've sold their home. They're out of money. They spent all their money touring the country at the Brady campaign's behest, pushing this frivolous lawsuit. You can't blame Lucky Gunner. They're just saying, hey, we're not trying to make money off of you, but we don't want to lose $200,000. You're the one who came to us on this. Oh, yeah, by the way, in the story it says the Brady campaign took in $25 million in revenue in 2014 and 15. Maybe the Brady campaign could write a $200,000 check and take care of the Phillipses. But, and I will say this, Jay Caruso, the author of this article, puts it very well. He says, yeah, they could probably pay that, but it actually serves them better to have the Phillipses go bankrupt, to have this couple that suffered such a terrible loss go bankrupt get wiped out. So the Brady campaign can say, see what these dirty gun sellers are doing? No, I'm sorry. That's what you did. You fooled them. You conned them. You tricked them into filing this lawsuit. You told them it was possible. You told them they could win when anybody would have told you it's impossible. It's against the law. The judge has to rule on the law. And further, you could have told them, oh, yeah, you will be liable for the legal fees of the other side when you lose. And it could turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars. So who's at fault here? Who's at fault? Certainly not Lucky Gunner. They're selling a legal product, and the purchase was okayed by the FBI. So the fault lies in Holmes, the murderer, and I would submit the fault falls with the propagandists at the Brady campaign. You may see it differently. Ah, boy. Line 3, Frank's in Arnett, Oklahoma. Hey, Frank, welcome to Gun Talk. How are you carrying these days?
Okay. Well, I carry either inside my waistband or on my belt.
Mm-hmm.
But so that I not only have my gun with me when I exit the vehicle, plus if I get stopped, I don't have to reach back. I got me one of those credit card carrier deals that's supposed to protect it from being read.
Mm-hmm.
I have my driver's license, my concealed carry. I got some money and about 5 credit cards in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that way I've got that if I have to exit. And on my belt, and when I'm not driving where I'd have to reach for that,
Mm-hmm.
in a lower pocket or something, I have those. I use those cell phone carriers. I have my cell phone in one, but I found they work fantastic to put my clipazine in.
I love it. And I got to congratulate you. I think it's a brilliant idea to think through this. What if you have to bail out of your car in a hurry? Do you have everything you need? Personally, I want to have it all on me. I don't put my phone on the console or in a cup holder. I want it physically on me, because if something happens and I got to bail, I want all that stuff on me, because you never know when you might need it.
Gun Talk encourages you to support the local sporting goods store, gun stores, ATV dealers, and other local businesses in your area who advertise on this station and Gun Talk. Only together can we protect our rights. You're listening to Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
All righty, back with the 866 Talk Gun. Get you in here. Just dial Tom Talk Gun. All right, coming out of, where else would you expect this? The great state of Texas. Investigators say a woman near Katy turned the tables on a pair of intruders. She shot and killed one of them before a second man got away. Happened about 11:30 Monday morning. Not at night, 11:30 in the morning, almost noon. Looks like it was a home invasion. One neighbor says, this is a really very safe neighborhood. Yeah, I hear that a lot after there's been something like this. The 60-year-old woman shot and killed an armed intruder. Yeah, home invasion, according to the Harris County Sheriff's Office. Let's see, detectives say that 2 men actually entered the home uninvited through an open garage door. Can I return to the subject and say, when you're in your house, lock your doors. People say, well, I lock them when I leave. Great. What's more important, you or your stuff? Oh, I never thought of it that way. Yes. When you're in your house, keep your doors locked. Well, I never lock my doors. Then you're an idiot. I'm sorry. That would have been, that's great when it was Barney, it was Mayberry, it was the 1950s. It's not great anymore. It's not smart. All right, so let's see, sheriff says both were armed with pistols. They surprised the 60-year-old woman inside. It says she confronted both suspects and then retrieved a handgun and fired several times at both suspects. One man collapsed and died in her front yard. Then here comes the quote of the day. Quote, this is from Kathy Hanks, a neighbor. It's the state of Texas. If you're going to go into someone's home, you're going to get shot. That's really how we are. That's just Texas. I always did like that state. I like the attitude. I really do. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Let's go talk to Jeff on line 1 out of Oregon. Hey, Jeff, thanks for your patience. What's going on? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go to Fuzzy. It's on 1 out of Marshall, Texas. Hey, Fuzzy.
Tom, how are you?
I'm good.
I had a good question. You were talking about the Model 37, and we've got one. My brother got it in the division of my parents' estate, when we were choosing up guns, to buy it. And
right.
Makes me want to go buy it from him. We've been talking about that Model 37. It was a 20 gauge. My good question was, when you're traveling in your own plane and you're come into an airport that is a pretty good size airport, maybe one that has small jet service or small, prop service that's commercial. Right. And this airport has some security or a fair amount of security. How do you navigate in different political jurisdictions carrying your own gun and getting out of your own plane and going through the building or going through whatever you do? Right. Tell us about that.
Sure. It's an excellent point. A lot of people know I fly small planes. I travel in small planes. And I do take my guns with me. A lot of times I'm wearing a firearm. First of all, you got to know the state you're going into. It's like I would not go into New Jersey carrying. I probably wouldn't go into New Jersey not carrying. I probably wouldn't go into New Jersey, period. But that's a whole different issue. But assuming that it is a state where they have reciprocity, my carry permit is good. The thing to understand about airports is this. Small airports are not an issue. They're a little out of the way places. Bigger airports, where they have commercial traffic, they have secure areas. You'll notice that when you go into the airport, you go through security. Well, until you go through security, that's an unsecured area. And in most states do not have a law that prohibits this. In most states, you're perfectly legal to carry in the airport until you get to the secure area. You can't carry in the secure area. So you're okay carrying on the airport. And the other thing is understand that small planes, we don't go into the terminal generally. We go into a business called an FBO, which stands for Fixed Base Operator. Think of it as the gas station for little airplanes. And it's often on the opposite side of the airport or away from the commercial terminal. And so we just get out of the plane and we go inside and, use the restroom, get a Coke, maybe get a car there, that type of deal. No harm, no foul. Now, occasionally some of them will have a no gun sign. And each person's got to deal with that the way she or he feels best to handle that. But generally, it's not an issue. Now, there are certain places, certain states where I'm just not going to carry. I try not to go to them, but sometimes I have to. There's certain states that I really enjoy. I like going to, but they don't honor my permit, Oregon being one of them. They don't honor anybody's permits outside of Oregon's permits. So that's kind of the drill there. I don't know. I don't know if that helps you. Does that kind of clarify, how it works?
It kind of does. How would somebody identify this building that's different from the terminal? And what did you call it?
It's called an FBO, for Fixed Base Operator. If you are a pilot, you know about FBOs because that's when you land. You will have checked before you land. You will have known, what the FBO is. Where am I going to get gas, for instance? Where do I go on the airport? Airports are huge things, and as you taxi around, if you don't know where you're going, it's really easy to get lost, especially at night. Let me tell you, I've done it a few times. Everybody's done it who's flown much, but you also ask the tower once you land. You can say, "I need progressive taxi instructions to Landmark FBO or TAC Air FBO," or whatever the business is. Or sometimes you just say, "Need progressive taxi instructions to the FBO." and they'll say, turn right on Alpha, turn left on Bravo, and they'll take you right there and get you there. And now you arrive there, and there'll be a guy there who will a lot of times run out and help you park, and they'll fuel your plane for you and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's basically, it's a gas station. It's really all it is. So you just have to know where it is, and if you don't, the tower will let you know.
So if you were going to get on an airplane at a small airport, you would have to inquire as the guy that was going to get on the airplane.
Oh, you mean a small plane?
And on a private plane, you'd have to ask about this FBO.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the things I find is that I always have to tell people, if you're going to meet me at the airplane, do not go to the terminal, because I'll probably be a mile away on the other side of the airport. Literally, you'll have to drive around the airport to get to the other side, where there are buildings there that you've never paid attention to before. So if you're getting picked up by somebody in a small plane, ask them, where on the airport are we going to be? Where do I need to meet you? So that'll help them out. And a lot of times they can just find the address and give that to you. There's a website called AirNav, AIRNAV, airnav.com, and you can look up FBOs for various airports there. Look, I got to run. I appreciate the call. 866-TALK-GUN will get you in there. I'm Tom Gresham. Be right back with more Gun Talk.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy for unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts. Choose Sig Sauer. Visit sigsauer.com today.
Laser sights enhance and maintain your accuracy in a time of crisis. Whether you're unbalanced, evading a threat, or engaging from behind cover, a laser sight aids in keeping you on target. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com for a free copy of our laser training video, The Laser's Edge, and learn more about why Crimson Trace is making laser sights standard equipment.
Hi, this is Tom Gresham from Gun Talk. America is losing critical wildlife habitat at a rate of one football field every hour. It's happening on the Louisiana coast, but it's critical to all sportsmen and conservationists. These precious wetlands provide winter habitat for more than 10 million ducks and geese annually, waterfowl that migrate north through dozens of states. Don't shrug it off. Get involved. You can help. Visit vanishingparadise.org.
You got your carry permit, and that's good. But you know you could use more training. Get the DVDs, which have what you need. Springfield Armory presents Concealed Carry 1 and Concealed Carry 2 with Bata Group. Learn specific concealed carry skills from Top Gun fighting trainers. Get trained. Be prepared. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
The Black Hills. There's nothing like it on Earth. The kind of place where characters become legends. Wild Bill Hickok, Crazy Horse, Calamity Jane. Pick any part of the world and you'll find people go there to make it their own. But this is where people come to get made. This is the place that made the people who make the best ammo on Earth. Black Hills Ammunition.
All right, see if I can get this right this time. Jeff's on line 2, called up the wrong line last time, out of Oregon. Hey, Jeff, you're on Gun Talk.
Hello, Tom. Thank you. Yeah, I was wondering what your feedback is. I noticed on the news yesterday, I think it was, now they're trying to blame this Yosemite fire on lead bullets.
Lead bullets or just bullets?
Well, they said lead bullets, but we know how the uninformed news really is. So.
Sure. Well, back in 2008, there was a fire in the same area, and they actually charged a fellow. I don't know if they convicted him, but I know they charged him for starting the fire using steel core bullets firing out there. I don't know do they have a person on this? Or are they just kind of generically saying this was probably caused by somebody shooting?
Basically, I think they're trying to warn him or some dumb thing, but you know how that works.
Well,
the government wants to use a certain situation to play their little games. They will.
Well, we know that steel core bullets can cause fires. I mean, that's a fact. You shoot them out there. It's one of the reasons that I am pretty adamant about wanting to shoot into berms as opposed to just shooting out across the countryside. I want to know where my bullet stops, like in a pile of dirt.
Right.
In this case, I don't know if they know for sure. I don't know. It almost sounds like, I'm just kind of coming into this cold, it sounds like the media especially, is it the media saying this or is it law enforcement?
No, it's the media.
All right. I think what's happening is they're hearkening back to the 2008 case, and now they just say any fire started out there was probably started by one of those bad old gun guys shooting bullets, because, bullets cause sparks because they always do in the movies. So, I don't know the specifics, but that may be what's going on here. At the same time, and the NSSF has put out information in the past about these dry areas when they have no burn orders out. You don't want to be going out there and shooting steel core bullets because it definitely can spark and cause fires. So, but it's my sense is kind of like yours. I think maybe it's the media just going back to their old comfortable place. They pull up their little blankie, which makes them comfortable, and that's guns are bad, gun owners are bad, and gun owners cause everything from fires to cancer. So there you go. I appreciate the call, sir. Let me go talk with Manuel on line 3 out of Las Vegas. Yes, sir. What do you think about buying?
Yeah, hi, Tom. I need advice. So I've been carrying a Ruger XR22 for the last 6 months since I got my concealed carry. Mm-hmm. I know it's not the most reliable, but I mean, that's what I have on me right now. So I'm thinking about buying the Taurus CP111 Gen 2 G2 Millennium. Mm-hmm. That's within my budget. It's like $250 online. But I'm thinking about, I don't know if that, if that's a good option. Or should I just wait and get something else?
Well, okay. You probably have a pretty good handle on this. Number one, you know that a 22 is not really a good self-defense caliber. You've got it. It's what you have. I get that. But I applaud you on wanting to move up to a centerfire. I think what I hear you saying is you understand that there may be some value in waiting just a little bit until you can afford. Well, let me back up. What I think I hear you saying is that you would actually like to have a different gun, maybe a slightly more expensive gun, but you're not sure whether it makes sense to wait for it. Am I reading that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm looking into the Signet Towers, the P20, something out there, the 400, maybe 500 range, but, it could be a few months from now, like I said, I'm a father, it's tough, times are tough out here, so I know I can manage the 250, maybe 300, but that's,
All right. Here's the thing to think about, and that is when you buy this gun, you will have it for a long, long time. Guns last a long time. If you get the one you didn't really want, and I've done this, I can speak from experience. Every time I picked it up, I told myself, you dummy, why didn't you wait and get the one you really wanted? And in my case, it was a shotgun, and I went cheap, and it was a dumb. I'm going to suggest you maybe go find the one you want, trade it in, put a deposit down, maybe do a layaway deal, wait a few months. You're going to have this gun for a long time, and I would want you to have, I'm not even asking what brand, you get whatever you want, but get the one you want, because it's a 20, 30, 40, 50-year purchase. You're going to have it for that long. And I would hate for you to say, well, I could have waited 6 months and gotten the one I wanted. I would suggest you do that. Just my thought. The other thing is, seriously, take a look at used guns. Great value. Nobody wears out guns. And a lot of times you can get a heck of a good deal on a used gun and find the one you want that way. So I would certainly put in a bid for that. I'm a big proponent in buying used guns. Like I say, you can get some great deals that way. Have you gotten any deals on used guns? 866-TALK-GUN. I guess it was too much to ask. Baltimore, Maryland. They had a program in place for this weekend. Baltimore just racked with murders. Terrible violent problem. Gangs, drugs. So they had a program going this weekend. They were going to quell the violence by adopting the slogan, "Nobody kill anybody." No, I'm not making it up. I'm not, just come on. It was the Nobody Kill Anybody weekend. Seriously. Yeah, it didn't work out. Let's see. They've already had some shootings and some killings there. I don't know what people are thinking. You have feral humans. Feral humans. They're not going to subscribe to a PR campaign or a slogan or a promotion or a marketing effort. It's just nuts. I don't know what. That's just crazy. And remember, these are the people you're trying to have a conversation with about why you want to protect yourself. And they're going, no, just issue a slogan. Nobody kill anybody. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah. Line 2, Matthew, South Carolina, bullpup shotguns. What are you thinking here?
Yes, I'm looking around for, say, like a bullpup style home defense shotgun.
Okay.
And I've only really seen 2, and I figured you might know more than just the 2 that I've seen. Well,
which ones are you looking at? Which one have you looked at so far?
A KSG from Caltech,
mm-hmm.
and a DP-12.
Okay, I've shot both of them. I've shot both of them. I like both of them. They're very cool. I will tell you that the DP-12, I was prepared to not like it. It looked goofy, and it's one of those that just surprised me. It is you shoot twice, you go bang bang, and then you rack the slide, and you're basically it's like 2 pump shotguns stuck together. And I was impressed as all get out with it. I just thought it worked great. Honestly, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them as self-defense guns. What's your plan? You're going to use this as your home defense gun?
Pretty much.
Okay. What experience do you have in shotguns for self-defense?
Not much, considering my only one that I have is like hunting length.
Right. I'm going to make a suggestion here. I'm not trying to be smart about it or anything. There are 100 things to know about using a shotgun for self-defense that you don't know. And you can only get that by taking a class in shotguns for self-defense. Pick one of those, doesn't matter. Pick the one you like. But save your money up and go take a class, a 1 or 2 day class in shotguns for self-defense. You will learn so much. You will come away thinking, I had no idea. And, number one, you do understand, because you know shotguns, that a shotgun has a very small pattern inside a room. It's like the size of your hand. It's not going to be big. Right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure, because some people have this weird idea that a shotgun, you just point at a room and it hits everything in the room. No, it actually has a pattern about the size of a saucer across a 10-foot room. Maybe a dinner plate if you're lucky, but probably not. You have to aim it. I would want to make sure I have sights on it, or a laser, or something. But yeah, I would say pick one or the other. It doesn't really matter. I think they're both well made. They're both very interesting guns, but please make a commitment to go get some training in shotgun use, shooting, moving inside, how to load it, how to do different things. It's not enough to just get it. That's like saying, I'm going to buy a car, but I don't really need to know how to drive it. It just doesn't work that way, okay? All right, when we come back, we're going to be talking about some new developments on the laser world and what that might mean to you. Be right back with more Gun Talk.